Welcome to Creative Glory, the podcast, where we talk about faith, family, entrepreneurship, and honestly, a little bit of everything in between. From testimonies with guests to funny stories with our family to what not to do. Join us, Britt and Anthony, and our family on this journey called life as we keep Jesus first, grow with our family, and build our businesses. Is it recording?
It is recording, 100%. Hey, guys.
Welcome back to Creative Glory, the podcast.
Yeah, where everything's put together in a matter of 5 seconds and with happiness and sunshine.
Where when you persevere through arguing and agitation, you get on the other side of the record button.
You get on the other side of the record button.
And you smile.
And you smile the whole time. Because we're ecstatic to be here. Happy to bring you another episode of What Not to Do.
Yeah, happy 4th of July.
Oh, happy July 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1776.
I'm wearing blue, Anthony's wearing red.
Yeah, God bless America.
Amen.
Yep. Amen.
Today we're talking about passion.
Oh, fashion. That's good.
Oh.
Looks like you're leading. Let's go.
Yep, was our exact argument about how I always have to lead and talk, and Anthony said that he'd rather just chime in.
I do. I enjoy chiming in whenever I feel like there's a need for me to say something.
Okay, well, I don't like awkward silence, so I just fill the bubble with chatter.
And that's fine.
All right.
All right. So we're talking about passion.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What is passion? Wait, we didn't even read our scripture.
Yeah, because you didn't even have one. Doesn't matter. You have them all memorized.
Okay. That's a terrible one. I'm just kidding.
Can you not smack the mic that you already broke?
I didn't break it.
Yeah, the stand just magically broke itself.
I did not break it.
Oh, I'm just going to sit here and wait for a scripture because we were absolutely ready.
Yep. Lord, what do you have to say about passion?
Yep. Come on. Bring it on.
I don't have a scripture ready. There you go.
Okay. What do you...
1 Peter 5:7. Give all your worries and cares to God, for he cares about you. So we're going to give our worries and cares to God right now because of what aggravation we feel. So we just cast it on the Lord right now in Jesus' name.
Yep. Definitely went away.
Oh, okay. We'll have to find a scripture next time. But essentially, passion.
Yes.
That's kind of been on my mind lately about really igniting other people's passion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm passionate about igniting other people's passion and helping them fulfill their dreams and goals.
Right.
That actually gets me excited more than anything. What would you say the definition of passion is for you?
Oh, I looked it up.
I know we did.
Yeah. It's a strong liking or a devotion to a specific something, whether it's an action or it can be a person. But yes, it's an extreme devotion that you have or a liking to doing something.
All right.
Anthony
from dictionary.com.
Actually, it wasn't dictionary.com.
So
it's
funny.
Webster's.
We told them kids to keep it down, and I think they got louder.
Imagine that.
But growing up for me, my passion was basketball. And what's interesting is it didn't start off as a passion. It started off as a why. I just wanted to get closer to my dad. Mm-hmm. But the more I focused on it and the more I did it, the desire grew. And then a passion grew for it, if that makes sense. So the more attention and focus you put on something, you can actually create a passion for something you didn't necessarily have before. That was not the route I thought we were going to go with this. But
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what route you go. It's just however you feel.
I do think that all of us have a passion on the inside of us, and sometimes we don't even know we have it till it's ignited.
Yep.
Example, Nehemiah. God has me in the book of Nehemiah.
Nehemiah, the wall builder.
Nehemiah in the Bible, he was the cupbearer to the king. Mm-hmm. And he asked about Jerusalem, right? I could totally be jacking up the details of the story.
That's all right.
But he was asking about Jerusalem and his people back home, right? The walls fell down.
Jericho.
And the walls of Jericho fell down. It was in ruin. Houses, everything was in ruin, essentially still years later. Well, when he found out that it was still in ruin and no one had repaired it, in that moment, a passion and a cause was ignited in him. So, number one, before you do what God's called you to do, I believe a lot of times you'll be in situations and conversations, or you will see something, an injustice, right? You will see something, and it just this passion that you didn't even know you had at first, potentially, is ignited in you where you want to do something about it. Mm-hmm. It makes you want to do something about it. I feel like passion is this burning desire to do something about the cause or the dream or whatever that you have.
Yeah.
And so the first thing, why are you looking at me like that?
I was waiting to see how long you can go with silence before you started doing that. And those,
I don't. It's not very long.
I know. That's why I was
laughing. Anyways, but a passion was ignited, which led him to prayer, which God gave him the blueprint, talked to the king, and then he got the resources. But where did it all start? It started with passion. It started with a cause. It started with this desire, this burning desire that got initiated when he heard in conversation what his hometown, where he grew up, homeland, right, was in ruins still, and wondering why no one took up the cause. So maybe for someone listening, for you, it's you have a passion towards helping single mothers. Well, that's the start. But I feel like a passion will drive you to make sacrifices and things in your life to be able to pursue what God put on your heart. My passion is to help people. I want to help them do their passion. I want to help people recognize what God's called them to do. Help them to recognize what giftings they have, and then help them launch them into that. I'm passionate about that. So if I need to do that first, starting Creative Glory Gift Box, so I can teach what I've done and not let it be theory, right? If I need to learn new skill sets and grow
skill set
and grow in podcasting or video.
Talking
is my face red.
Matches my shirt.
The red shirt. Whatever I need to do that I'm passionate about, I'm willing to do. I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm willing to, it sucks, but be embarrassed or overcome all the odds that are stacked against me in that area to help.
Embarrassment people. Only comes when you're trying to please others and worried about what others think about you.
Yeah. So for basketball, for me, I didn't really go stay at people's houses. I didn't go on vacations in the summer. I went to basketball camp. I was so passionate about getting a scholarship and about the sport that I sacrificed a lot of other normal teenager things so that I could grow in that area.
Yeah, but was it really sacrifice?
I mean, in my 16-year-old self, yes, it was sacrifice.
That's dumb.
It looked like sacrifice, I guess, to other people. It didn't feel like a sacrifice to me because I cared more about.
Yeah, but they don't understand.
No, but it looks like you're so obsessed.
Yes, I am. Obsession can be a healthy thing. Mm-hmm. Obsession has been
your squeaky toy.
Obsession has been the word itself has always had like a negative connotation to it.
Yeah, because usually when someone's obsessed, it can be
the negative route. The only person that I've ever heard that was like obsession can actually be good, obsession is a good thing, was C.T. Fletcher. He's a guy who works out. He's, Compton Superman. He has an entire talk about how obsession is good. And obsession, like any other thing, it's amoral. It's what the person does with it.
Yeah, because I think obsession with the word of God is a great thing.
Yeah. Right.
Mic drop.
Yeah. But no, obsession. And we all knew those kids that now if you look back and you have, kids who did things that were outside the norms, they didn't want to go to parties. They didn't want to hang out. They didn't want to do things after school. A lot of people saw them and during school, like, yo, the kid's weird.
Yeah.
But all in all, it's just that they had a burning desire and they had their life was driven towards that passion that they had.
Yeah.
And in order for them to, feel like they're doing their passion, that they're doing what they need to do, it was going outside of the norm. It was going outside of, hey, let's hang out. Hey, let's go do this. Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Having a party? You want to come to it? Can't. I'm doing this. I have to get up early. I have to do that. It's the same thing with half of the people who say that waking up at 3:30 in the morning to go work out at 5 a.m. is insane. Mikey used to say that. Now he's a 5 a.m.er with us, and he understands. But no, it's... I didn't find any... So, let's see. My passion when I was younger, I don't know, it was art until my grandma passed away. And then I just didn't care anymore. It just...
Why?
I just didn't care. It because the recognition that I got from her from being good at it was all that I wanted. I didn't care about anything else. I want to be the best that I could because of that. We were just close. But after she passed, I actually quit drawing. I just didn't care about it. And to this day, it's just kind of meh. It's a hobby.
You're so good at it, though.
No, I've definitely lost a lot. It is true. If you don't use it, you lose it. Not all of it, but majority of it.
You can get it back just as quick.
I can, but I don't want to. There's other things that have fulfilled my life with.
Well, what would you say is the difference between a passion and a hobby? That's hard for me because I get passionate about it.
No, we've already been through this. You're not passionate. No.
Well,
if you don't ever do some of the things ever again, you'll be completely content with it.
That's a good point. That's the way. If you never did it again, you'd be completely content.
So a passion, say like basketball. How many times did you ever walk past like a basketball court, or you went to a game and they were playing and they needed another player? Would you have stepped up, or would you have played?
Absolutely.
Every single time, right? Does not matter.
I was 5 months pregnant.
You were. That's
terrible.
For what? Why? Because I love the game of basketball. Because I want to play basketball. Now, let's switch it around to something else. What's a hobby that you don't think that's a hobby that's a passion? How about this? Making jewelry out of clay. That's some fine. Earrings. Yeah.
It's stressful because I want to be good at it.
If you never have to do that again, if you just walked by a person's house, they had the stuff all set up and stuff, you could just look at it and be like, oh, I've done that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. You walk by a basketball goal and there's a basketball sitting right there by your feet. You're going to shoot it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's where it's at. Why? Because you want to know if you still have it. And you could care less if you still have it if you can make jewelry.
Because I didn't have it in the first place.
Bingo. Hobby, passion.
No, I just firmly believe that anything I put my mind to, I can be the best at it.
You can.
I wrote a song.
But you can't.
The beginning lyric was, every morning I have unrealistic optimism. I think that I can do more in one day than I actually can. I just believe that if I see someone else doing it, I'm like, I can do that.
Way more than you can. I know.
I get to the end of the day and I'm like, where'd the time go? Yeah. And then I realize I stared out the window for 20 minutes.
Longer than that. I come home at 12:30 to grab something and you're still laying in bed.
No.
And you'll sit there and be like, I had a good dream. I had to write down 7 songs I just wrote.
That is not true. We're at 12:30.
I just wrote a book, Anthony.
Yeah.
Got all the chapters done.
I'm working on a book. God gave me the outline. I had to, when I get downloads, I got to like do it right then. I have to stop what I'm doing and go like right.
That man make you sleep for 24 hours.
If I get a song in my head, I just got to go play it.
That man makes you fall asleep for 24 hours so you come up with new ideas.
Who?
Jesus.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have ideas for other people.
Yeah, while you sleep.
I should sell the ideas. I think that I can make money off of selling ideas.
You should not profit off of that. You should just let them go. We're getting off topic. We're getting in Trabbit Hills.
Rabbit trails. But I think too, for passion will give you energy to do what you couldn't do. Like, it'll keep you going when you feel like I absolutely can't go any further. Basketball, exhausted. I would work out 4 to 6 hours a day sometimes, and I was absolutely exhausted physically, but I was so driven by passion to be the best at what I was doing. I didn't care. I was like, body, you get in line because we're doing this. We're practicing. You can do way more than what you think you can do a lot of times with your mind. That's why I believe I can just do the impossible in a day.
You can do way more than you think you can do. That's why the placebo effect is there.
Yep. But I would say, too, if some people are like, I don't have a passion.
I don't have a passion.
Again, Nehemiah, it was ignited through conversation, right? Something that was already inside of him. I believe God puts passion and desires in us, and it just takes the right circumstance, the right conversation, the right people sometimes to almost unlock it, if that makes sense.
It's a level of awareness.
Yeah.
It's just a level of awareness with it. You may be passionate about something, or you may think that you're passionate about something, but, realistically, you're probably not.
Yeah.
And you're probably trying to run away from what your calling is and maybe what you're passionate about. I've ran away a lot.
Anthony told me, he said, one time I said, has the Lord said anything to you? He said, I got the Jonah spirit.
Yeah. I went the opposite direction.
The Jonah spirit. What?
Yep.
What the heck? And so I bound that Jonah spirit in Jesus' name.
That's fine.
I kid you not. What happened? It wasn't too long after that. Not because I bound it. I guess the Lord got to you, but you did whatever he was telling you not to do.
Whatever. I just decided because
God doesn't
running.
Like
I hate running. It's exhausting. It's even worse when you have somebody who does no concept of time. Boy, them marathons. I got tired. I just wanted to rest. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna do what you told me to do, and it didn't take that long. I just did what he did, and I was happy. And he was happy. I was happy. He was happy. I got rest. I quit being chased. That whale spit me out.
Well, sometimes it takes trying new things and exploring to find out what you're passionate about. And you can be passionate about different things in different seasons.
Yeah.
In one season, you may be super passionate about something because God's put it on your heart and you do it with all your heart, and all of a sudden your desire starts changing. I believe sometimes God will shift you because you needed that in the season you were in. But did that come through?
That was fake.
You needed that in the season you were in, but now God's taking you in a different assignment. I believe God will ignite passions in you to fulfill certain assignments in certain seasons as well.
I think they all come together eventually.
I think they have an overall theme, or I think they all have a thread that's similar, you know, in everything that you do.
Well, there's a way to apply them.
Yeah.
Throughout, but it can all be pushed into one eventually, but you're just getting fragments and pieces of the puzzle along the way.
And learning skill sets and growing and changing and
basically trying to get a foundation of what the overall theme or picture is.
And the different things that you go through and grow your character so that you're going to need to end up fulfilling what God's asked you to do.
Yep.
But how do some people identify the passion? Let's say there's somebody going, okay, I don't know. I go to work, I come home, I eat, I tend to kids, I sleep, and I repeat. My life is so mundane.
Yeah, what part of that did you actually find joyful? None. Okay, well then obviously you're doing nothing that you're passionate about, so quit your job, divorce them kids.
Stop!
You can't divorce kids. You can put them up for adoption. But what? Somebody will pick them, and another more love.
I really hope people listen to this, they understand your sense of humor.
And if they don't, I don't care.
You shouldn't be listening.
I told you I'm going to tell you more things of what not to do than what to do. No, just finding what you find joy in. There's certain things that you can do that you literally lose time. Like you don't think about how long it took you to do something or how long you were doing it because you had joy while you were doing it, because you had fulfillment while you were doing it. There's certain things that I can do for hours and it literally feels like 10 minutes.
Solitaire.
It's not solitaire. It's anything that, no, that's something else.
You have been on solitaire every time I come in here in the afternoons. Because and they just be clicking, playing solitaire. I'm like, that's so boring.
You're wrong. I click and I'm also on my phone.
And he's listening to music and he's watching TV.
Right. Because my mind is chaos It's all going around. And in order for me to focus, I have to have a ton of things going on. It's easier for me to focus whenever there's chaos going around than whenever it's just like a single, like, I can't sit still and stare. My hands need to move. My feet need to move.
It's okay. I'm rubbing my feet on the toy dog ball. It's like a foot massage.
It's exactly. So my point exactly being that, yes, I'll play solitaire because it's mindless. It takes no effort. There's nothing really into it. You click a mouse. My phone, because it gives something for my left hand to do. My right hand and my left hand is doing something.
Because when I would talk to Anthony, he'd fall asleep if he didn't have something in his hands.
That's because your voice is so soothing. It just put me right to sleep.
Or I bored him so much.
It didn't bore me.
And he would just, or he'd be on his phone, and I'm like, get off your phone. We're trying to have a conversation. And he can't look you in the eye for too long. You notice, like, you'll never look me in the eye for too long.
That's because I'm special.
But anyways, let's go back to joy. How for you?
How do you do?
Can you think back on a time where you felt like life was just kind of just drudging by and you didn't feel like you had anything to live for? Not that you didn't have anything to live for necessarily, but like, how did you get out of that and find a passion for something?
Move 1,000 miles away. Forget about everything and anything that I knew. Start over a new life.
Just start over.
Yeah.
That's our advice.
Yeah, just start over. If you're questioning whether or not you're doing something that's fulfilling or
move
joyful,
14 hours away and you'll figure it out.
Just move states away. That's all you got to do. And then you'll figure out whether or not you were okay or...
Well, we found a passion for hiking and being in nature and waterfall. I don't know, kind of already
had that.
It's so funny
I hate the beach.
Because I've always had a desire to be near waterfalls. And I didn't even go see my first one till 4 years ago. Whenever we moved here.
You could always went to the Tunica Hills. Is it it's the Tunica Trail.
In Louisiana?
Yeah.
I lived in Monroe.
Yeah, well, you lived in Baton Rouge.
I know, but I had all the babies back to back.
Yeah, it was only an hour drive away, too.
Well, I always had the desire.
And if anybody has ever been there or seen it, you'll know. You can pee harder than that waterfall falls. Stop. I am not lying.
In Louisiana?
I am not lying. Before social media and all this other stuff, you'll look up on the internet, waterfalls in Louisiana is like Tunica Trails, and then you hit it. And unless you've had a hurricane the day before, yes, it is a drip. It is about 4 feet tall. And it is a miserable hike because it's Louisiana, there and back.
Yeah, I don't miss. I miss family and the food.
I can cook those, so we're good.
I don't miss Louisiana. I
don't know. I miss the culture.
I miss the family type culture of people that I've met, but I'm talking about like nothing to do. So hot.
Oh God, it was not that bad. You're from South Arkansas. It's not that bad.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm from North Louisiana.
100%. You ask
small
anybody.
Town named Baskin.
Yeah, small town named Baskin and North. Just so I tell everybody the exact same thing, and everybody,
it is like a different country.
And everybody who is from South Louisiana here that I talk to, they 100% agree, because I'll have a helper, or I'll have somebody that I'm helping out, and I'll tell them, hey, Louisiana's shaped like a boot. You take that little toe, shoot it all the way across where the laces are at the bottom, shoot that thing all the way across. You're going to hit like Alexandria and Opelousas. South of that is Louisiana. North of that is South Arkansas. You can never tell me anything different. They talk
then why
different.
Is it called Louisiana? We do talk very different.
Exactly. You talk different. Y'all cook different. Y'all don't even use seasoning. Y'all are horrible at cooking.
I learned to like spicy stuff.
It is a different culture.
We use boxed stuff.
You cannot cook up there.
Mama can.
She can, but she's old country. Y'all new country people can't. And even then, it's just...
No, we didn't learn to cook.
It's just Southern country food. It's still, it's not Creole,
I didn't
Cajun,
care to learn to cook.
I know you didn't.
And
because
then
your passion was basketball.
That was not my passion, was cooking. And I've had to learn lately. I know. And I'm saying it's still... I pray in the Spirit and ask Holy Spirit to help me every time I cook. I'm like, how much more seasoning do I need to add, Lord?
More,
Izzy told me, Izzy told me, Mom, you put too much seasoning. You need to like pull back a little.
So, yeah, I like to cook. But if it does not happen the way
he doesn't like to clean though, so unless the kitchen's spotless, Anthony's not cooking.
Bingo. If y'all are hungry enough,
then why don't things get clean before I cook?
What do you mean why? Because I'm never down there.
Hey,
I don't dirty.
You've done dishes like 5 times the whole time we've been married.
That is a lie.
Maybe 10.
That is a
You
lie.
can't stand to do dishes.
I can't. It's true. I can't.
It grosses
But
him out.
it doesn't gross me out. I don't.
Literally will set it beside the sink, and I'm like, you can wash that. I just
Not
did
mine.
all them dishes.
I wash mine. Are you freaking kidding me?
Okay,
I will wash mine.
But we're on point 2, and we're 25 minutes.
I don't even know what point
we're not even on point 2. We're on the beginning of it.
No, we're not. We're past that.
Okay. Anyways, let's get back to sharing what you're passionate. What brings you joy and fulfillment? How did you go?
Where are you at?
Part 2.
Yeah, part 2 of part 2.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyways, back to what you were saying about joy and fulfillment.
What was there? Like, give an example. When I listen to podcasts, I want to hear example, because I can hear you talk metaphorically, philosophy, whatever. But until you give me a practical, real life example
of
I
what?
don't relate.
Finding something that you're passionate about, or something that you find
a time where you was maybe going through the motions in life, and you did a hobby or something and became passionate about it.
I have to be very careful about what I do, because I do have OCD.
He wants to be perfect in everything he does.
It's not about being perfect with OCD. My OCD is I can become obsessed. And I know whenever it's a healthy obsession or a bad obsession. That's like we went to Mount Mitchell. Me, Mikey, and Petey. Both of them were like, hey, we need to do some overnights. And I just looked at them. I was like, And they're like, no, we should do some more, because, we're all doing phenomenal at this. This is the highest peak. Like, we need to go and do some overnights on the trail. No. Yes, I want to. No, I don't want to. It's one of those things.
Oh, because then you'll have to do all the trails and then
They are like, well, we have extra bags. We can literally put together a whole entire set for you. And my answer is still no, because I know if I do this, then most of my time is going to be spent away from family, away from everybody, out in the mountains. That's what's going to happen. And then I'm going to become to the point to where I might as well be a hermit. I'm going to go find a dog, a stray, and we're just going to go hike. And then my family will never see me again. Like, that's what pops in my head. And I'm like, I can't do that, because I am
to extreme.
It's not going to extremes. It's just seeing how far I can push myself.
Leave my whole family and go get a stray dog.
Right. Like Forrest Gump when he started running. Forrest Gump. I realized I like running. So he started running. And then how long later was he just like, I'm tired? See, like, that's me.
You have that. I have hyperfixation, and it only lasts so long.
Yeah, mine doesn't. Mine becomes where it
burns
literally
out. It's like a rocket. It goes, shoo, and then it goes.
Yeah, I know. I see it. And you fizzle down for like 3 days, and then you find something else. Because I don't
sleep for 3 days. And then I'm like, I'll go to sleep and wake up and be like, what was it I was like obsessed about?
Yeah, you completely forget. Me, on the other hand, I'm sitting over there looking, this bag is 0.3 ounces lighter. That'll make a big difference.
Oh
like,
gosh.
Exactly.
You're obsessive with details.
It's not I am obsessed with details, but it's trying to push as far as I can with something that I find an interest in.
Well, working out, I think you rediscovered a passion for that.
I hate working out.
Well,
I ain't gonna lie to you. I hate it. Look, I work out so that
I'm asking you to tell a story, and you're like...
I'm going opposite on you, because I don't think you understand.
What are you passionate about
right now?
Sure.
Podcasting.
No, you're not. That's a fib. Ethan doesn't like to do any of this. He just doesn't. He wants to be consistent with it, because I mentioned it, and he's trying to hold me accountable.
I'm trying to be as consistent as possible, and then you yell at me beforehand because you wanted to shoot this. And then I clap back.
And then it's like, I'll never do another one a day in my life.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, I didn't mean it like that. Something right now that I'm passionate in. I have a passion of kind of similar to you, but I want people to succeed. I want them to succeed as much as they can in whatever they want to succeed in.
Yeah, I do too.
You want to help them find what their passion is and then help them succeed with their passion.
Oh, yeah.
Me,
I want to help them know what their giftings are and what God's called them to do.
Me, I don't care if you hate doing it.
Oh.
I want to push you through it and watch you succeed, or at least get to a point to where it feels like success to you. Like, I want to be your cheerleader and just push you wherever you want to go. And I want to help you succeed. Like, that's what I like seeing. I like seeing people succeed.
You like being like a coach?
I don't want to be a coach.
You literally just described
what a coach
said
does. Cheerleader. I said cheerleader.
And then I pictured you with big toes.
And pom-poms. I may have worn those before.
It's not that type of cheerleader.
I can be, but you're gonna get your butt kicked.
That's why I say coach, because
I was very particular about what word I used, because I did not want coach.
But that's not a cheerleader definition.
It's because to me,
your personality don't go with cheerleading.
Yes, it does. Have you seen some of the cheerleaders? Some of them are mean. Some of them have just like, they are ruthless.
So Anthony's the mean cheerleader.
That's right. Oh, kick your teeth in.
Oh my gosh! So you're the football player,
but cheerleader.
Funny.
It's just rah rah, you know.
I thought you were gonna say your passion is to help people not be stupid.
I'll be honest with you. That brings me more joy than anything. You know how you were just saying them times that just like clicks in your head when it's like, oh, that's my passion. I want to rid the world of stupidity. That's what I want. And it's not even like
every time we're driving or riding somewhere, and Anthony's driving, which is very rare, unless it's your truck, because I don't drive your truck. But Anthony's like, God, stupid people on the road.
You should see me at work. It's worse. That's my passion. My passion is to rid the world of stupidity.
Passion will just get you fired up, and that is the one thing Anthony gets fired up about consistently since I've known him.
So there's
especially too when you know they're capable and they're asking you questions and things that you're like, you already know this. Why are you asking?
I don't
Anthony can't stand repeating when he tells you to do something and you don't follow through several times.
Give you chances.
Not very many.
One.
That's where the mean cheerleader comes in.
That's where chances come in. It's plural. It's more than one.
And I usually ask him the same things over all the time because I forget I asked him, and then I forget the answer.
No, it's not that. It's because before, and you even said this also, is that you would ask me to do things that you already knew that you were capable of because you thought that I liked that you needed me to do simple things.
Yeah, that was in the beginning.
No, even in the beginning,
it's like you felt like you were needed. So I was like, okay, I'll keep letting him feel like he's needed, even though I can totally do any of the stuff.
I know you can. That's why I didn't want to do it. I'm fully capable of it. Now, if it's something that you actually need help with or something, yeah, that's cool. Oh, I'm needed for something that she actually needs help with, not something that you don't, which goes along with people at work. I know for a fact some things that people are capable of. I know for a fact some things that they aren't. I know the questions that they've asked me. I know the answers I've given them, and I know how they retain information, like a goldfish. So what do? I'm not answering that question. I'll stare at you until you go,
not a cheerleader.
That's what it is. You're right. But whenever you say, blah, 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 I'm like, yeah, that's right. You knew it the whole entire time. See? Cheerleader. Woohoo.
He was trying to grab the ball that I was massaging my foot with. What are some obstacles?
No. What's yours?
My passion? I already said my passion.
Well, not your passion. It's just, how did you find it?
How did I find it?
What route did you go down to find what you're passionate about now?
Well, when I thought my life was over, when my back broke, my passion was basketball. And when that ended, I didn't think that I had passion. Like, what am I? But I realized that every time when I learned to network and network marketing, what got me the most excited is when people talked about their dreams and goals.
Stop.
And they talked about And I recognize giftings in people. I always have. I see the gold in people. And when I would hear them talk about their dreams, what are you laughing about? What? Are you thinking about the situations I've gotten myself in?
Yeah. My favorite is once you get yourself in and then you start asking me questions about, I need to learn discernment. Anthony, can you help me with this? And I just look at you and laugh because I'm not giving you what I'm discerning because you're going to learn.
I tend to look past red flags because I see the calling in their life. And I didn't know that
it is way bigger than red flags.
But I didn't know that he's going to pee on the floor.
He better not. No, he won't. No, he's not.
I didn't.
Come here. Quit.
My whole life, I've been able to recognize giftings and callings on people without knowing it. Mm-hmm. I thought I was just making this stuff up in my head. Like, they'd be really good at this if they did that, just based on, getting to know them a little bit. Well, when I started networking a lot and meeting a lot of people, I found a common theme in all of them.
Serial killers?
No, stop it. We already talked about that one. I did meet with a guy that had just murdered someone.
Homeless people?
And I was just talking to him about the Lord, and I had my Bible
We've
open.
heard that story. Keep going on. But
the Lord protected me from a lot of naiveness.
And was you allowed in the house?
Yeah, I let people stay with us. Okay. Besides that,
the girl who duct taped her kid.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, that was the first one that you ever said. And Anthony,
she gave him heroin.
That
she was in the newspaper.
She didn't give it to him. He got it he got it from her, but she was out, and he stuck himself. Anyways, that was the first person that you ever said, Anthony, I picked up this girl at the park, yada, yada, yada. I didn't know what park it was.
It was raining. It was a gas station.
That was by the park because you went to where you said that we played basketball. Mm-hmm. And I just looked at you and you're like, what are you discerning?
He was in a diaper. I was learning to hear God's voice. I didn't know if I could hear God's voice.
You said, what are you discerning? And I just looked at you and you said, I'm trying to be better at discerning. Why don't you help me, Anthony? And I just looked at you and you're like, she sent me this picture. Oh, what do you?
I hadn't talked to her for a couple weeks at that point.
I gave her $100.
I gave her money for her light bill.
Yeah.
We didn't have any money. I don't know why I was giving her money. We had no money.
And I'm just sitting there going, oh, you obviously
that's
already
a problem.
discerned everything.
Anthony won't tell you. He just thinks it's funny to watch. And afterward, I already knew that.
It is a train wreck, and I am watching all of it front row seat, and it brings me some kind of joy.
Is that your passion?
It brings me joy. Because I am watching this, and it's the moment that it clicks in your head, I messed up, where I'm like, gotcha. Because
he loves the I told you so.
No, I don't say that.
But you act it out.
I act it, and I feel it, and I feel glorious when it happens. But it's that.
But he doesn't give me his opinion, so how can you say I told you so?
The aha moment of ignorance fleeting, and that brings me joy. Because you have done some things that are highly questionable, and I'm thinking in the back of my head, there could be.
She can't be this stupid.
There literally has to be a giant sign over this person's head that just says, goodbye, leave me alone, go away. And you're like, my friend, best friend, she's here. Anthony, I met this person at a conference. Okay, cool. She's just going to stay with us for I don't know, a little bit. You never told me she was homeless. But I caught on.
I didn't know she was homeless till she showed up and said, "This is my house."
And it was her car. Point proven. And then she was here for a couple days, and I would come home, and she had Brittany spending all kinds of money on things.
We got deals. We went to thrift stores, and she haggled them down because she said, "I'm homeless."
And then she goes, "That was a red flag." When I did this, that was a red flag. When I didn't let her pay for ice cream, that was a huge red flag. She yelled at me. Exactly.
Everybody.
Exactly.
All I can afford is ice cream, and you took that from me, Jezebel. And I was like, what?
And all this is happening, and I can tell, and I'm just going, this is great.
That's awful. You need to, intervene.
Absolutely not. I
wonder what our kids are going to have to do with.
Well, John Wayne said, if you're going to be stupid, you better be tough. So that's what I'm leaning on right there. Let's get back to the passions.
I don't even know what direction we're going, and you went off on that little story.
No, because I was just thinking about you.
Well, what am I passionate about?
Oh, well, you said how you found your passion.
Well, it was hearing people talk about their dreams and goals and realizing when I recognized the giftings in them, they didn't even see it in themselves. Mm-hmm. I'm like, do you not see how talented you are in this area? Do you not see that you're great at communication, that you can? I just believe that they can do it. I just believe anything you put your mind to, you can do. Always have been. And that's why I do stupid stuff, because I just believe it's going to work out. And I don't see all the red flags because I'm not looking for them. And that's where Anthony comes in, except he tells me after the fact. So absolutely not very helpful beforehand.
I tell you after the fact, and then I go over step by step. Hey, how did you feel about this? And what about when this happened? Or, hey, what about when this happened? And you said, oh, I thought it was a bad idea, but at the same time, I was thinking, Lord, you put this person in my life.
Gotta work it all out for your good.
So something good's going to happen out of it.
I just believe there's a silver lining in everything. However, I have learned definitely I can naturally be, when you were talking about being obsessive can be a negative thing. My negative positive thing can be impulsiveness. I'm quick to react or quick to take action. Put it that way. That can be a negative thing when I get an impulse of an idea and I just go spend money or impulsively get obsessed with something for 3 days, hyperfixation, and lose track of my responsibilities. However, that can be a very good thing when the Lord tells me to do something. I do it immediately.
I have to bribe you.
To do what?
Things that you should have done immediately.
Oh, yeah. Well, when God tells me
LSU Final Four game last year.
You didn't bribe me.
Hey, Brittany.
I mean, you tried to bribe me, but I was going to get it done anyways.
No.
What was I supposed to get done?
The booklet. The ebook.
Oh, yeah. I didn't have to create an ebook resource.
You didn't have to, but you put it onto yourself, but per usual.
I said it would be a great idea. And then the leader's like, okay, go ahead and do it. And I was like, what? I was just suggesting good ideas.
Yeah. And since you suggested it, you can do it.
That's and then, of course, I don't do anything halfway. I do like a 50-page ebook.
Yeah.
Resource.
And I said, hey, they're playing in South Carolina. They're playing Miami. I'll get tickets. The game's tomorrow. I'll get us tickets. We can go to it if you finish it today. You sat on that bed. Hyper fixated.
I need a reward.
And the minute you finish, you said, did you buy the tickets? Yes.
I get excited when it's hard when I set myself a goal because I'm just like, I'm going to go get it anyway. I'm going to go downstairs and get that piece of cake if I want to. But if Anthony does it, Anthony's pretty true to like, if he says he ain't going to get you something,
I'm not.
He won't.
Mm-mm.
He don't care how much you beg. You can cry all you want. He ain't getting it.
I will laugh at you. While tears are streaming down your face, I will laugh.
And if you don't follow through on what you say, you're not going to do what you say. Ever.
No.
I'll give in and be like, oh, okay. It's to the fine. Kids sometimes.
I'm not.
I've gotten better. The Lord told me don't do that. But
make it soft, kids.
Anyways, I found my passion in like talking to people and realizing the common thread of everybody has a dream. And they don't know they have a dream, though. Sometimes they think they don't have a dream. But when you listen to people, they will show what they're passionate about by what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. It comes through in their conversation. Mm-hmm. And that's why every conversation I have, it's very hard for me not to talk about the Lord. And me and Anthony have talked about this. I do sometimes have too much Christianese and scriptures for everything, but I'm very passionate about the Lord. Mm-hmm. And so it comes through in every conversation. So sometimes it helps me to get out and do things like basketball or like go do things for fun just because I don't relate to many people when that's all I talk about. How am I going to lead people to the Lord if they think I'm shoving it down their throat?
Well,
however,
with finding we've already talked about this, like some of the obstacles that you come across.
There's so much going on in the background.
some of the obstacles that come with it, like mine is the obsession part with it. Yeah. Like it can be negative or positive, but I can see whether or not it's going to be negative or positive, so I can steer clear of certain things, and I can like microdose some things. Like we can go hiking, but like every once in a while, especially some of the big ones, like rare, like even with the Spartan races, I want to do all of them all the time.
And win all the medals.
I want them all.
You see behind him.
But we have one coming up in August. We have one in September. We have one in November.
What? You didn't tell me that.
What?
All
yes,
of those.
Asheville is next month. After that, it's DC. DC after that, and then it's Newberry in November. Jeez. Yes. But also, Lebanon, Tennessee is in October. Sebring, Florida is in December. And that's where I'm like, if I had all the time and money, I would literally hit up every single race, every single weekend. I would hit stadions, the stadions that they have. I would do all that. But I know that I can't. One, because I can't afford that. It's expensive. Traveling is expensive. But still, I want to do all that, so we hit all the Carolinas. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 in Carolinas that will hit. And so it's good.
Well, part of that is knowing yourself.
Oh, thanks, bud.
Now he decides to bark.
Fluffy tail, stop. Hey.
Grab him, please.
Bring him downstairs. Bring him downstairs. Open up the gate.
Well, with that, knowing yourself, when you know that you can become obsessive in a negative manner, like that can be an obstacle if you don't know yourself and you knowing your tendencies, right?
Sometimes I like to push the boundaries too.
Because sometimes for me, I don't know. I've just gotten to a place where I know what I'm passionate about. So if other things don't really align with that, I tend to not pursue them things.
Well, you've already talked about it as far as becoming hyper-focused on something and then burning out. Like, that's an obstacle in itself. It's all the obstacles that come along. Open up the fence, jump over.
Well, if you're a person like me, I can get passionate really quickly and burn out really quickly on things because I have so many ideas.
Yes.
I have to pick and choose when.
And which ones to
and
hold.
which ones in the season that I'm in, because I can't do every single. I've had a vision. I've had several things on my dream board for 3 years that I haven't even started to pursue. And I know it's ideas God's given me because it's not the season for that. I don't have the capacity yet to learn that skill set to be able to pursue that. And so an obstacle, it could have been an obstacle by me trying to do all these different things and getting exhausted and not even spending time with my family, letting my marriage and my children suffer. That's an obstacle when your passion overtakes your responsibilities. You can't let your passion overtake your responsibilities. That's why you got to have your priorities in order. And you got to know what your priorities are. Sometimes knowing yourself, write it down.
Yep. So, I mean, with knowing, like, pursuing a passion with confidence comes with knowing yourself. Do you need to be told that you're doing a great job, phenomenal job? Like, do you need that? Because if you need that,
no,
there's going to be times that you're not going to get that at all. You might get the opposite. Is that going to drive you, or is that literally going to dead stop you?
You're going to get the opposite most of the time.
I would much rather hear silence and never hear that I'm doing good at anything. Like,
oh, then you must not like me. I tell you all the time.
No, it's not that.
I'm the cheerleader.
Like, you're my wife. I see you all the time. But from other people being like, yo, man, you're doing a phenomenal job. You're killing it. You're doing this. Cool. I appreciate it. Thank you for noticing. But at the same time, that doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect my self-image, self-esteem, confidence, anything. It doesn't go up. It doesn't go down. It doesn't really waver. Because I'm not out here doing what I'm doing to make sure that you notice me.
Yeah.
I don't care if you notice me. As a matter of fact, I'd rather you not notice me for 10 years and then all of a sudden, boom. You know? Like, I don't need anybody else to push me along to
well, if it's an actual passion, you're internally motivated.
Yes, it's a burning desire that's backed by faith.
In God.
In God. But no, and I think that, who was it? Johnny Manziel was talking, And he was like, the loneliest place that you can be in, the worst position that you can be in, is when everybody around you is telling you how phenomenal you're doing and how great you're doing. But at night, when you go home and you're by yourself, you don't feel that. Yeah. You don't feel like you've done anything. You don't feel like you've accomplished anything. You don't feel like you've pushed yourself anywhere. You don't feel like anything at all. You feel stagnant. You feel like you're just there.
Well, their version of success and their expectation is different than what yours are. You need to figure out what yours is. You have to define success for yourself.
Well, yeah. But that comes from people pleasing. Mm-hmm. Don't tell me I'm doing a good job. I don't care.
I like to hear affirmation.
I appreciate it. Thank you for noticing, but I don't do this for you. Like, I'm doing this for me, and I know whenever I'll get to a position where I could be like, you know what? Yeah, I made a difference. But along the way of that journey, it's not saying that I'm Neve.
You're like looking constantly.
Well, because he had the tape stuck to his tail.
Oh, the tape you threw before we got on the call.
We don't want to talk about that either. That is going to. Anyways, lost my train of thought.
I'm no help because I don't remember what you're talking about.
God. I don't need somebody else to tell me that I'm doing a good job. And along the path and the steps and the journey that you're going on and going through, I enjoy it. Mm. It's not that I don't feel that I'm, that I've pleased enough to be happy, that I should stay grumpy about it because I'm not where I think I should be. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
There's stressful times. There's anxious times. There's depressing times. I understand peaks and valleys. I also don't really care. Peaks and valleys. Like, give me 24 hours to where I can feel bad for myself, and then I'll be back to normal. Don't chase me. Leave me alone. Like, that thing. You know what I'm saying?
I'm the chaser.
And there's other people too. Like, some days I don't want to see or talk to anybody.
Yep, he makes that obvious.
And when those days are there,
he's running and pooping because you scared him. How's that OCD going?
Oh, it's not.
I told them to take him out. They didn't listen. Now you will stop the bike.
Tristan! Please talk before I lose it. Brittany, talk. Get up here. There's Hershey Kisses for you.
Right there.
What do you see?
You're videoing his face. He actually thought he was getting chocolate, Anthony.
Yep, he is. You can eat it if you want. Oh, you better find it quick.
We're going to have to edit all that out.
Nope, we aren't editing anything. This is our life, our daily life.
Anyways.
Yeah.
I think that passion will... I think when you find something you're passionate about, that's where you get joy and fulfillment out of life. That's where you feel a sense of purpose and a sense of life is worth
living.
I was going to say lifing. I don't word.
Life is worth lifing. Well, we've found the title of this, guys. Life is worth lifing.
Life is worth lifing. Life is worth living.
Nope, lifing. You're not really lifing
until you life.
Until you've lifed.
But anyways, if you're someone who you feel like you have no passion, think back on things you enjoyed in your childhood. That helped me. When the Lord started speaking to me about the gift boxes, when I kind of got that download, which we talked about in the last thing, I looked back at things that I actually enjoyed as a kid when I didn't have responsibilities. I loved music. I loved encouraging people. I loved teaching people. I loved gift giving. All of that played a role in me realizing that was my passion all along, was to help people. The reason I believe God's given me so many ideas and so many different things that I like a variety of things. I'm not one person that's one lane type person.
You don't say.
I remember in high school, one day I would dress up as like a little rock star. The next day I'd be the country girl. And the next, I just liked trying different things. I always reverted back to my basketball gear stuff though, all the time. Bun in here, shorts and t-shirt. But I like trying new things. I like exploring, adventure. When you put all that stuff together, I think I like different things because the people that God's going to put in my life, they're going to be of a variety of different backgrounds and they're going to have different dreams on their hearts. And I think I'm going to be able to help them. And I don't like things being the same. It bores me.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the gift boxes. It's different.
Everyone's different.
Every single one's different. Anyways, look back on things you enjoyed as a kid. Like, think back on the memories where you had the most fun. And sometimes going back and having childlike wonder, exploration, doing things you did as a kid, whether that's jumping in puddles in the rain or just sometimes that will ignite different things in you. I can't even focus. There's so much chaos going on in the background.
What are you jumping up the stairs spraying for? We were talking about strategies on how to overcome obstacles.
I done skipped to take action. Discover things. The strategies. Overcome the obstacles.
You skipped.
It's okay. You already finished. How do you pursue your passion? You first got to discover your passion to pursue the passion. Then you got to overcome yourself.
Yes. Then you have to take action.
We're our biggest enemies.
I'm not an enemy.
People blame everything on Satan.
I'm my best friend.
And on the enemy. And it's like, no, you're your own worst critic a lot of times.
That's right. Sometimes you're just stupid.
Don't be stupid. That's Anthony's advice.
Don't get a sticker that says it. Don't be stupid.
Don't be stupid.
From now on, people call me and ask me questions. I'm just going to say, don't be stupid.
And I'll tell you that life is worth lifing.
There you go. Life is worth lifing, and don't be stupid here.
Other, kind of just, but I guess the action to take from here, try something new. Try something you've never done or go back to something you did as a kid that brought you joy and fulfillment. Think back on things in your life where you felt a sense of purpose. Something that you did, whether you helped someone or maybe you gave a speech, or actually most people are terrified of that. Maybe you sang, or
it sucks.
Maybe you did a certain thing that just brought you so much fulfillment. And you'll probably find a common thread in your life will kind of point to what you're called to do. Yeah.
My purpose is hiding. I like that.
No, it's not. The Lord said, "Be like a city on a hill, the light. Don't hide it under a bushel. No, I'm gonna let it shine.
No, I want to be a princess in a tower.
No, I'm gonna let it
I want to be a princess in a tower.
Hide it under a bushel. No, I'm gonna let
I want to be a princess in a tower.
You want to be the damsel in distress and I rescue you?
No, I don't want to be in distress. I just want to be in a tower left alone.
Oh my gosh.
Looking at everybody going, that person's stupid. That person's stupid. That person, don't be stupid.
Clearly, Anthony's passion is stupid people. And mine is to help you fulfill God's calling on your life.
Wow.
What is yours?
Concise.
What is yours?
Remember, passion is the genesis to genius. Galileo.
Oh, I was going to say that all wrong. Galileo.
Figaro. But, yeah, I don't know. Finding passion can be hard if you're not paying attention. Do it intently. Yep. Figure out what your passion is.
Hopefully there were some tips in there somewhere.
If not, ask me. I'll tell you. Don't be stupid. Stupid.
Life is worth lifing.
Please start ending it like that. Please, from now on, we say, hey, y'all, stay and be blessed. And then you just go, life is worth lifing. All right, guys. That concludes another one. Happy 4th of July, even though this will be a week late. It'll be perfectly right on time. Also, July 6th is the 30th anniversary for Forrest Gump. Almost said Forrest Trump.
Oh.
Weird. Oh, well. Sorry, Mr. President. But we'll see y'all in a week. Don't be stupid.
And life is worth lifing.
My computer broke.